most of us, our speakers don't need any introduction. And look at Nicklas has been around here for ages. They were retired school teachers, and they also, like she said, her dad was a member of this club for many years. We're not going to talk about them being teachers today. Since they retired, they have started a new business called Nicklas Estate Sales Liquidators, LLC. And I thought it would be really interesting to hear their thoughts about this venture directions. Noticing them online, and I thought they were kind of like the companies that we're going with. So, go ahead.
Correct me as I straighten that. So I do have some flyers. Sort of how this began is for those of you who do not know, I taught theater for many years in Canton, and I'm a lifelong Nicklas Arts resident. And so when you get to retire from the public schools in the state of Missouri, you have many years left. You don't really like it. Took a couple months last summer and took some time off and try to figure out what the next step was in our lives. And because of the last couple of years in our life, we both lost our fathers, and we, needed to sort of purge some of their things because that's what happens, right? And in that process, we found it very difficult to get into other auction companies. And I dabbled in flipping maybe the last 20 years while I was teaching. And so this sort of thing sprung up, and we started selling our own these things. And then in the process, people said, hey, will you start selling this for me as well? Can we bring you these things? Until things became overwhelming, and so now it's full on, and we're over a year into this full time, and we do several things. We do more than just auction things off. So what makes us a little different than other people who do the same things. So we do primarily a weekly consignment auction through the HiBid platform, and it is online. So what happens is we down at our auction barn at the end of Pawatonka Road here in town. Used to be my dad's RV barn. But it's a lovely space. We lay out all of our weekly consignments, we picture them, and then every Wednesday night by about 10 o'clock, all of those items are live online for bidding. We have people in the area. We have a very large customer base here who will come and preview, and then they will bid online, and then they will come pick up things in person. But we also ship everywhere. We ship anything everywhere at the buyer's expense. So every week when our auctions close, we're probably shipping between 10 and 20 packages from that auction anywhere in the US. We're very confident with that. So our auctions open on Wednesday night online. People can look at them and start bidding. And every Saturday night they close online, starting at 6 o'clock. And then we have what's called a soft close. So lot number one will start closing at 6 o'clock, and then every time somebody bids, it adds another minute, so that it's not like a sudden death thing like even. So that's what a soft close is until they're all of the lots are closed. Then on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, people come pick up their things and we ship, and then we start it all over again. So that's our weekly life. But we also, in the midst of those things, have things like on-site estate tag sales. We just had one on Panorama this past weekend. That is where we will go in and we will tag an entire house full of things. Like this particular neighbor of ours moved into assisted living in Springfield. She could only take 500 square feet of things with her from this 3-bedroom home. It needs to be put on the market. Realtor calls us and says, we need all of this stuff gone. So we go in, we take about 2 or 3 days, we tag everything, pull everything out of the cabinets, set up tables. And then we have 2 days of a tag sale where people come in and buy all the things. Day 2 is 50% off everything in the house, with everything must go. Then anything that's left over, we call off. If we think it is not sellable, then it goes, it can either be donated or if it's really, as I call it, gross, it goes to the top, okay? And then sometimes we'll take things back to the auction barn and auction off. So things that are PayPal that buys for the back sometimes very different than the ones that buy at auction. So we that's what we did with the one this past weekend. It is now like the cleaners came in Monday. Everything is out of it and it's being pictured today and it'll be on the market October 1st. And it was full of furniture, full of things. And so that's kind of what we do. Now, one thing people have to remember is it is liquidation. We need to get rid of things usually very quickly for people. They're always on their time crunch. This does not mean we're selling your things for free. I mean, it is, we are selling things to the highest bidder. I understand what you think you could get for this on eBay. And we do, as you can see on our papers, we do put some things on eBay. But eBay takes time. eBay has additional fees, and we're not gonna do that unless it is a super special item. There are things that we're like, there's a Waterford lamp that we just unboxed. It is like this tall. We look it up, we go, this is not for eBay. And what are those things? I don't even know what it's called. It's this Victorian glass, then kind of thin flower thing. I don't know. I can't ever say what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's for flowers. And then these fluted edges, and you rarely see them all in one piece all together and be unboxed and a beautiful one. It's probably $2,000 on eBay. That's going on eBay, it's not going to the auction. So there'll be some special pieces that we recommend do not get sold through auction. Also, the furniture, we sometimes don't do well in the auction house with furniture, so we'll say we can sell it on Marketplace or on our website. If you go to our website, you'll also see that we have quite a bit of furniture that we put through that way. So we have varying ways to liquidate items depending on what the item is. And I'll tell you just very quickly, I guarantee you in the last year we've worked with people that you know. We have liquidated places and are currently liquidating places that are people that you know and have been a part of this. And so we're super happy to have that sort of trust. And that's the number one thing. People that we don't know will say, how do we know that we can trust you? Because we're going through all. They're like, you just have to ask around and you just have to know. Because we're going to be going through, like for example, Todd was in the basement of a place we were going through the last few weeks. The children who had hired us, I say children, who had hired us, did not have a great plenty of time to go through everything. What'd you find, Todd? In that basement, back in the corner of the box.
A box full of autographed baseballs. Some amazing names on the baseballs that they didn't know were there. So we're obviously not sending those to auction in the house.
They were like, do you want to keep these, first of all? You know, and that's, again, sometimes other auction companies, once they take over, then that stuff, you are contracted to sell. But we kind of have a leading part. And, you know, we also have this gentleman splash drainage. kiddos want that back, you know, his yearbook from Camden High School. Those sorts of things need to be returned to the family. So we have an eye for that, and maybe it's because we're teachers and we get in touch with leading arts, that if we find something that we believe the family needs back, then we are intuitive about that. So, and for that very reason, we've been cleaning out a house in Texas. Why do we need to drive to Texas to pick up things once a month? Friend of my cousin, 2,600 packed boxes that have been packed for 10 years. They were world travelers. There are a lot of those collectibles that you're seeing across the top of our page come from that estate. Our buyers look forward to it. And we go and we clean this stuff out because these heirs, mom and dad are in memory care. The kids don't have time because they're caring for their parents 2 hours away. And they are missing things like wedding rings. They are missing things like, they've given us a whole list of things to look for in these boxes, and we have found 90% of it and returned it on the return trip. And we haven't found the wedding rings yet, but they do. It will be great to do so. But that's why do they hire us from 2 states away? Because hopefully they think they can trust us because somebody's watching us. That's what we do. If you have questions, let us know. School auction closes tonight. We have the school liquidation right now. Please bid on chain link, welders, file cabinets.
Don't bid on the file cabinet.
No, the black file cabinets.
The black ones, yes, the white ones, don't bid on.
That is not a weekly consignment. That is kind of a special situation. So that was tonight at 6 o'clock. So hop on there and bid. We're super happy to have that liquidation, and hopefully that continues that relationship. By the way, they cold called me on that. The director of maintenance did not know me. And so that was a complete accident, and we're super excited to have it. And then we've got some other things coming up, but we are booked as far as consignments go. We are on hold. We're not taking new consignments right now until after Christmas. But we will always accept customers who want to buy. But plan ahead. If you know you need the liquidation, go home and clean out that cabinet above your refrigerator because nobody needs it. So go ahead and start purging now, right?
What you find is, we had a friend who lived out on B Road, and mom died, and then the dad died in the family when to liquidate the house, and they were gonna sell the house like we talked about. And the auction service came back, we were helping the family because they were close friends about it. And the auction company that we did that. Yes,
We go with every month. We do find cash. And that is a great thing. And like I said, we find jewelry pockets versus we go through everything. We go through every envelope, every document, and we shred it and we dispose of things. Yeah, we go through all of that stuff. Because again, we know how our own parents thought and where they stashed their things. And you gotta do that for sure.
How would that be?
So
To a house.
It really depends on the house. We've dealt with complete hoarding situations where we had to start at the front door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that
Oh.
yeah, that was interesting. That took us quite a while, but we were also dealing with weather and all kinds of things. But like over here, the way we did that, 2 days. 2 days to set up for the sale, a 2-day sale, and then 1 to 2 days to clean it out. So we can do it in less than a week, but we have to have it on our schedule. Yeah, for sure. We do have staff now. We recently hired former students of ours that we trust. immensely. And have shown us that we can trust them over the years. So it's made for a really great situation right now for us to help.
So, if there is, I mean, advice, if you start reaching out. So,
Do not wait. Like, do not wait to start the purge, and I don't care if it's you or a loved one. What I was telling them, one of the worst phone calls we get is somebody who has a closing date. An elderly person who has a closing date, with no one to help them. And they don't know what to do, and they need to be out by such and such date, and we don't, sometimes we can't help them. Sometimes we have helped them, and we did not have to help them. We do not buy estates, that's not something we do, or something we sign in. We did have a lady earlier this summer, she was just absolutely desperate, and I felt terrible. Because by the time we had hired people to help move all the things out and to haul off the trash when it's hauled off, really can't pay her much for the stuff. You know, so think ahead, we should come in before the house is listed, not after it's closed. We need time to do that. So that's the thing, or start now. Do not keep vases from the forest, please. Do not wash your butter dishes out and put them back in the cabinet for future use.
Wow. Don't go to my grandma's.
Because everyone needs generational. And also, please do not think in most cases your stuff is not unique. My mother-in-law loves to accuse us of selling her things. And I'm like, sure, this is not yours. Other people bought this as well. Other people have this. So, you know, the blue cornflower corningware, or the spice of life, with all the, we all have it. You know, other people have those things, right? And then occasionally we have those special planners. But start cleaning out now. Don't wait. So, and again, the cabinet above the refrigerator has nothing that you're going to use ever in it. Don't even put anything in it. Do you drink it? Okay.
And now that all the kids are old and gone, I guess I can move them over.
So, the house recent house we got, we can't sell liquor. We called out how many milk cartons or milk crates full of liquor that are sitting in our basement that we don't know what to do with.
All Steve said.
It's that the kids said, just get rid of it.
You can sponsor steak.
Honestly, we're not kidding, we will bring it out. Like an bottle, if you want that.
Yeah, but I mentioned it.
Are there any other questions?
Not interested, but you need it.
I can't tell you.
Well,
I cannot tell you in mixed company. Oh, yeah, family friendly. Okay, so this is funny because this involves Curtis. Our son Curtis worked with us all summer at 7 months and served. And he loved admin. But he, you know, like he learned a lot. He learned a lot of things. So I was getting ready to list something that I felt was the thing that put jelly inside the jelly donuts. It was aluminum. It was with this lady's kitchen stuff, right? But I always run it through Google Image or before I list it. And so I'm getting, you know, I just figured out what it is. I handed it to Curtis because he's gonna picture it. I said, you know what that is, son? And he said, yeah, it's kitchen one. Kitchen something. I go, no. It is a vintage enema syringe. And he's like, why do you do this? That's what type of mortgages we can about. That we can talk about.
I can't think of anything specific, but I mean, there's so many things that we don't know what they are. That you'll have to do research.
That's
Even at any, so, you know, we don't know. There's tools that I've never seen before in my life. What is it? I mean, it's a specific, for a specific job. So Google Images have become our friend for sure. Guys, learn your wife's China patterns so you know what they are.
We can.
I've learned more about it. I can name a pattern from across the road.
Go, oh, that's no longer.
Scary. But,
It's like, oh, let's see, we're coffee and that's.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You have to take well, just I'm starting the purging process. You think that's
Oh, does. Cool.
well, that's fine.
Yeah. We don't, you know, what's really interesting is, we have not come across any functioning.
Oh, actually, I haven't ever seen it.
Yes.
There's a number of scouts.
We did sell a Harley 2 weeks ago. And the power of high did, people from Rotary are buy it. We got a really, you know, we got more than one our buyer. Also, by the way, we don't like to put a reserve on anything.
Nice.
And the reason is because one, it disrupts the integrity of the auction. If you put it out there properly, you started at $1, people are gonna bid it up. And our clients need to have confidence in that. And if you don't like what it's going for, then you buy it back. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to pay commission on it. You know what I mean? We don't like to do reserves. I'll do maybe, we did a $500 starting price on the Harley, but we knew that was gonna bring them. But we don't like to do reserves. Yeah, so we just like everything that started at auction.
What is
So if you go to that website right that we have at the top, it's a sliding scale. So we're gonna take 45% of like the $5 and under items. But when you start getting at above $500, we're only at 10%. Which is pretty good, you know? So we like to keep our stuff a little nicer, which is why we have that sliding scale. It encourages people to maybe, we won't deal with your dollar. But we you know, we charge less commission on those. Yeah, same amount of work, doesn't matter. Yeah, good question.